We could live stream this too if we wanted to.
The hot dog mile?
This. And we
Ah.
could live stream the hot dog mile.
How do you think a live stream would do right now?
I think it would actually do pretty decent. The thing is, this podcast only goes to YouTube and everyone's asking for it in audio, but I kind of like being a thorn in people's sides where it's like you got to go to YouTube to get it.
Actually, I had a couple people say that.
Really?
They
Yeah.
want to put it on Spotify.
Well, I think I will at the end of the month. I mean, I was going to do it like 2 weeks ago, and then I just got lazy and distracted when I was setting up Podbean and everything, the RSS feed. And yeah, I don't know. It will come because I also want to put on the power ranking show on there. But the thing about the power ranking show is like I like the visual of like us moving people around. Like you don't know everyone's face. I don't know.
I don't listen to podcasts like on Spotify or on the podcast app.
You don't?
No. I do it on YouTube. And even if I don't want to see like faces like Joe Rogan, I still leave it up and then I'll walk around the house with headphones.
Oh.
I don't know. It's just easier to find podcasts on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I subscribe to like 3 different podcasts on Apple Podcasts, and those are the only 3 that pop up. Everything else, I guess you're right, I do go to YouTube. And then Evan was like, when are you doing this hot dog mile? Which is the dumbest fucking thing I'm realizing, because it's such a big consequence for such a small race. Like it was T100 London, and now that I'm thinking about it, like I lost, and now I have to do this hot dog mile, which is brutal. Like I haven't been running at all. I haven't been running.
First, why don't you explain what happened?
Okay, so we did like a fantasy league thing for T100 where you pick the top, I think it was 5 or 3 athletes per gender, and then based on their finisher place was a point. So lowest points ones, like if your guy came in first, that's 1 point. DNF was the total amount of athletes that finished plus 1. So I lost. I got absolutely demolished by the women. I think I was leading the men's race. And then no, I was winning the women's race, and then I completely got blown out in the women's. So the punishment was Blake had to watch 4 hours of Lionel YouTube with a playlist curated by me and Evan, and then me and Evan would have to do a hot dog mile. So quarter mile hot dog until you get to a mile. It has to be under 10 minutes or I have to pay $20 each to Evan and Blake. So I get absolutely throttled. Me and Evan were hoping Blake would lose so we could just do a live stream of Blake watching Lionel. We have the sickest Lionel playlist, like going back to like 2013.
Send it to me.
2014.
Send it to me. I haven't seen enough Lionel. I just got into it like a year ago.
Yeah, like some epic, and then some funny videos, but then like epic videos like double threshold day, like all that stuff. So I was hoping for that because it would be good content too. Like Blake goes on YouTube, we have people chime in, we maybe have Blake do like a ramp test in the middle of it. Like we're gonna throw some curveballs at him. So anyways, I haven't really been running. Got to do this hot dog mile. I think you're going to record it, but it's going to be done. It's going to be done in between the worlds, men and women's race. So probably at the end of the month here. And I don't know, man, like I'm not really training at all. Like I got a lot going on in my personal life. Like I love what we're doing here with On Your Left with like the different things. And I'm creating some stuff for the off season, and I don't know, like I'm training when I want to train, like yesterday I went on a 30-minute walk. Like, yeah, I could have done a 30-minute run, but I'm just like, I don't know, man, I'm not into it right now. And I kind of liked the fact I was gaining weight. I gained 25 pounds in about 3 months, and my body feels great.
You feel good?
Yeah, I feel great.
What do you feel? Yeah. How is it different from when you were in shape versus now with that 25 pounds? What do you feel?
The little things in the sockets, the main sockets, shoulders and knees, I'm noticing. Yeah. Like waking up and getting out of bed, I felt like an old man. And part of that is probably because I wasn't the best at recovery. You pick your battles when you train, and, you have a family and stuff. Like I wasn't on top of recovery, I would say. Like, after a long run, I would sit down for, an hour or 30 minutes, get on a work call, and then stand up and be like, oh, that was a fucking mistake. Like probably should have just stood up that whole time I was on that call. But yeah, I'm noticing just like the little things that were tight, like especially my back. Like my back was really beat up, but I just think, dude, it's the product, and I'm not some badass. Like I just think it was like 13 years of training, just burning the candle at both ends for the good part of a decade. And it's sad because like, I was just a realist. Like I think we were talking about this before, like going for 16th at Augusta, my greatest performance ever. I talk about this all the time. Like, at the end of the day, it's a fucking joke. And when I finished the race, like, I was very proud of myself for how I did, because I feel like I finally raced to like my potential. And that's when I kind of like started backing up, because I was going to have my first kid. I was like, you know, if I'm not going to be top 10ing these local regional races, like I should maybe focus on work more. And it was very hard for me to accept the fact that like my time is come and gone at this point. You know, I'm 30 at the time. I was like 31, 32. And I kind of dragged my retirement on for like 2 years. And when I should have just like realized and like cut it off. You know, I'm not leaving the sport by any means. Like, I kind of want to sell everything so I can get fresh stuff in about 5 to 10 years, because my goal is to go to Kona. Like, I gotta get there.
Yeah. And I feel like this I mean, On Your Left is growing where it's big enough where hopefully you can get like the latest bike and all the gear and dialed in for free.
Yeah, well,
you're making such good connections.
Yeah, well, we just got a partnership with Ventum. I mean, it's not free bikes. You know,
maybe in 5 years though.
Yeah, that's true. The pro team gets 30% off. I get 25% off, because the person who does like the sales was like, wait, this Connor Bollinger guy hasn't raced in a year. Like, he's not a pro. I mean, technically I still have it, but Dia's wife was like, give him 25 and not 30. Nice. So I respect that. At least if they were like auditing who's on the pro team. And then our amateurs get 20% off, and that's frames and builds. So you know, I'm happy to support. Like, we already sold a few bikes. I'm happy to support a Utah brand, and it's all bikes. But yeah, dude, 25 pounds. The funniest thing I was doing, and it's funny, like, you see these shows like, you know, My 600-Pound Life. I felt like I was like living a version of that, where our newborn would only sleep for like a month. This was like a month window if I was driving. So we would put my 2.5-year-old down at like 8, and then I'd get in the car with her, and I would drive to Panda Express at like 8, 9 o'clock at night. And
how many times a week?
Like 3 or 4.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I would be getting a platter of like double orange chicken, fried rice, and a Fanta.
Oh
like,
yes, my favorite.
At like 8 or 9.
Is it
PM.
Fanta? Wait. Before we change the subject, is it Fanta or Fanta?
Oh man, if you had to ask. So the commercials, it's Fanta.
Yep.
Right.
The old, like, I want to say they're like South American. Don't you want the Fanta?
Don't you want the?
But every single person I see at a drive-through or at a restaurant says Fanta.
Yeah, that's...
Now it was started in Germany in World War II.
Was it?
Because Coke, they cut the distribution of Coke coming into Germany. Oh. So then they came up with their own soda, created Fanta, an orange soda.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so you went to Panda Express. You got your...
Yeah. And then I just started drinking beers. Like, I was drinking all of the beers, and I'm not like getting hammered. I would have like 3 beers a night, which is like, it's not good.
What kind of beer?
Peroni.
Okay.
Dude, I was drinking anything. Like, I mean, you were over here for what was that, 4th of July? I was making margaritas.
And you were a bartender for a while. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was a bartender for like 5 or 6 years
during
in New
college.
York. Yeah. And then right after college.
Because you were dialed in. You like had your shaker and...
Yeah, dude, I take it very serious. I make my own sour mix. I don't fuck around with that. I mean, that's my passion, is like mixology and watching. I really enjoy when somebody has one of my cocktails and they're like, this is nice. Like, this is good. It's like an artist, you know, painting something and watching people.
Or a chef, you know?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Like, I make sure I get the the Luxor cherries for old fashions. They're soaked in brandy, and they're not like the right bright red ones. They're like the dark burgundy, like in this syrupy. It really elevates the cocktail. Yeah. So anyways, I could talk cocktails for a while, man. I really do enjoy it. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't drink, and I don't know anything about alcohol, but I can respect it.
Well, the new trend is whatchamacallit, non-alcoholic. What are they called?
You talking about non-alcoholic beer?
No, the drinks. What
the sparkling?
Yeah, would they have a name
Seltzer?
for it? Mocktails.
Mocktails, okay.
Yeah, that's like a big thing now, especially in the cities.
Did you make? No, you made my wife a mocktail.
Made your wife a mocktail. Dude, I got range.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so 25 pounds. I think it's time to lose it because my cousin's got a wedding October 1st. And so I had a job interview and I put on my suit and I sat down into the car and I almost ripped the suit because the pants were so tight. Dude, a lot of the weight went to my ass.
That's not a bad thing.
So I think I'm going to do a 72-hour fast.
God, dude, that's so extreme.
So I'm going to start at 24. And if I could do it, I'm going to push to 36 and then I'll keep it going. But I just feel like the amount of shit that I've been putting in my body the past like 3 months, like I'm good for it.
Just do a juice cleanse.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea
like
too.
A 1 week juice cleanse.
I'm sure Kara would rather me do that than do a fast. So.
Yeah, I think everyone would.
Yeah, but I got to lose some of the weight. I'm really like I'm at a line where if I start gaining it, people are going to be like noticing. Like
you don't really wear it in your face though. I will say that.
Oh, and right to like my gut and my ass. Yeah, okay. That's basically where it went.
Now you got the full dad bod.
Like I was with Trevor the other day and I was like, "Has it look like I gained weight?" And he goes, "In your legs." I was like, "All right, that's not that bad."
Good, man.
How's your injury?
Good. I'm still rocking up to the gym. It's so funny. Utah has a pretty crazy gym experience. Like the women are like all naked. The men are all on steroids, heavily steroided, and no one's like out of shape at Summit, like during like midday.
That's true. That's a good observation.
It's like women and they're wearing bikini tops now. Some of them wear like a tube top with no string. It's like
I've seen that.
It's like they're at the beach, and I'm not a huge fan because it's like I'm going to work, you know, and I don't want to see 30 women. Dude, there's a lot of women at this gym midday. And I just want to lock in. So I'm setting up, you know, my lever, which is, if you don't know what the lever, again, go check it out on Instagram.
Shout out, Brad.
They sent me one, and it holds you up like an Ultra G. It takes like 30% of your running load off, and it holds you up into a harness.
It could take off as much as you want, right?
Well, it doesn't. I mean, it can't take off 100%. I guess if you like really cranked it down and lifted yourself up, but you might break it. I set this. I'm not paid by them either. This isn't like an ad. I set it up, takes 2 minutes, but I get just the wildest looks from the gym bros. They're just like, no one has asked me what a lever is.
That is crazy. No one came up to.
Yeah, and I'm running like 6:30 pace, 6:20 pace, like a couple minutes on. Okay. I go from a couple minutes on a 6:20, 6:30 pace, stay in zone 2, and then I walk for a minute. And I've been doing that for like 30, 35 minutes. Ran on the ground 2 days ago, and I texted Justin Reale. I was like, dude, I'm a little sore in that area. I was a little worried yesterday that it wasn't healed, my stress fracture in my femur. And so I texted Justin. I was like, hey, when you came back from this trip, because Justin's dealing with he's had 2 stress fractures in his trochanter. Now he's struggling with the same issue.
Yeah, I don't think he's racing Santa Cruz.
Oh, he pulled out?
I don't know. I saw something yesterday that Evan said. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I don't know if he's racing, but he was worried that he has a third reaction in his femur.
Dude.
So I was like, hey, when you came back from this, did you have any sort of tightness? Or it's hard to know what the difference between tightness and a fracture is, especially coming back.
That makes sense.
So I used ChatGPT, kept me calm and collective when I found out that, yes, you will experience a little bit of weakness, discomfort coming back. Again, it wasn't pain.
It's probably atrophied.
It's atrophy. But also when the bone calcifies, there is going to be like an inflammation process where the tissue around that area is a bit inflamed still.
That makes sense.
And it needs to be, you know, I need to have soft tissue work done, some dry needling. That goes a long way. And then foam rolling, like that helps, the massage gun, all that stuff. So I was a little worried yesterday. ChatGPT cheered me right up, understanding that like, hey, this is part of the process of coming back from a stress fracture. And the biking volume, I was at like close to 15 hours last week, a 25-hour week of training, which I was pretty stoked on. Only 13 and a half miles of running
with the walking,
so a little bit less than that. And swim volumes at 24,000 yards.
Don't feel anything when you push off the wall?
No, not at all. I don't feel anything on the bike in the TT position. which, dude, my new TT bike is sick.
Yeah,
I gotta brag about it. The Quintana Roo is dope, dude. Like, you go from a BMC from like, what is it, to hand-me-down from Chris Leiferman. This thing has miles on it, and I've performed on it, but I can tell you right now, you can feel the speed between these new super bikes like in the last 3 to 4 years.
That's interesting.
They're a lot faster. And I got the ceramic speed bottom bracket, the integrated hose where you can drink out of it and not have to grab a bottle.
That's an old
I don't want to plug it too much because I know you got Venta, but
who gives a shit? Honestly, Venta's not giving me money. They just give me discounts.
I mean, this Quintana Roo is sick. And you saw Christian Hogenhag. I mean, he's been crushing it on that bike. And it's good to like Quintana Roo. I felt like the last couple of years, people were like it was Matt Hansen. He was like their big athlete.
Big Mets.
And then Big Mets left and he went to like, and then bought his Canyon. Yeah. But it's hard to look at Matt Hansen and go, hey, this guy's got some killer bike splits. It didn't catch my eye that like Matt Hansen riding a Quintana Roo was going to be a fast bike. Yeah. But now you see Christian Hogenhall, you're like, yeah, this bike is fast.
They're a Mexican company, right?
They're based out of Chattanooga, but the name is Mexican.
Okay.
I don't think they have any.
Oh, they have no ties to Mexico.
Yeah, they don't have a.
Oh,
it's
an American bike brand.
Yeah, but of course they all make them in China.
Yeah.
All the frames come from China or Taiwan.
Remember Sirota?
No.
Sirota. So it's the only American, I think they were manufactured in the United States in upstate New York, Saratoga Springs, where my dad lives. And they shut down in like the early 2000s and they just got started. Somebody bought the name and they hired like all the old engineers back and they're like back at it. They do road bikes. Sirota.
Spell it.
Sirotta. Sirota.
Huh.
I don't know, but that interesting fun fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I think that's like the only true American bike brand I've probably heard of.
Where they're making bikes in America?
Yeah, in upstate New York.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, for sure. So speaking of, all right, so injury, when you're on schedule for why am I drawing a blank?
Augusta.
Augusta, that's what
Augusta is in 3 weeks from this weekend.
I was going to say Arizona.
I am on the fence, man. I am on, yeah.
That's a tough one. I mean,
if I'm being honest, I think the smartest thing to do would be to skip it. So I cannot make the briefing. I emailed Ironman, said my sister's getting married on Friday in California. I will be able to fly out the next morning and I'll be in Augusta by 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to miss a briefing. They said, hey, we'll give you a one-time pass to show up and like not go to the briefing, but you got to talk to other pros to make sure if you miss anything. So I'd show up at 5 p.m. They said I could rack my bike at like 7 p.m. the night before the race. And then I race at 7 a.m., which would be on a different time zone, which would be pretty rough. But man, 3 weeks away and I'm on the lever. I'm probably not going to do it. I'm going to go all in on Ironman Arizona and then Indian Wells and then just try to get like, there's some early, maybe January, February races in Chile or something. Mm-hmm. Hopefully going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking at.
And even Oceanside is legit.
Yeah, Oceanside's right too late. I want to race, dude. Okay. I had my off season with an injury. I want to start getting back into it.
No, yeah, I don't think going to Augusta would be smart. You know, I almost died last year. We talked about it. Every tree on our block went down. Yeah, it's not a glamorous race. It's like, not that I think it's even shittier than Eagle Man in my opinion in terms of the scenery. Like, I don't like it. Yeah. Anyways, so T100 swim. You wanted to talk about this T100 swim.
Well, I think not just the swim. I think T1. I wanted to talk about the whole race.
Yeah, which one, London or French Riviera?
The French Riviera.
Okay,
because it just happened and it's still hot. So we started with the swim. I just went over the race again this morning. They started. It was kind of dark. The sun was still coming up.
I didn't watch any of it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
we're not going to have much to talk about.
I was really busy last weekend.
Okay. We're not going to have much to talk about. Just recap kind of like my take on it. I do want to like give some credit to Morgan because I spoke to him right after. Morgan is my guy when it comes to T100 and getting insight on what the race dynamics were like, how much power he had to hold, and then like you know, what he thought. So I'll give him a call or I'll leave a voice memo right after. I'm like, give me the details. How was it? So I think he was sixth. I want to say he was sixth. He led the swim, but you saw Leo Berger like drifted off. He got stuck looking at the sun. And then he came out on the first lap, 16 seconds down, which was still the front pack. But even then, like these swims, 16 seconds first lap, he was able to get back in it. Leo should be leading it, in my opinion. He's the best swimmer in the field. And you could just see that my analysis of the swim in T100 is it's a lot slower in long course in general because there's not as much pack dynamics. An ITU race, it's like you are all out to the first buoy. The first 300 meters is like you sell your soul to position yourself in the top 10 or top 15 to make the front group. It's a little more controlled, I think, because everyone in their mind has the idea that like, hey, we're about to bike for 2 hours all out. Like it's way harder of a bike, in my opinion.
You've raced the T100, right?
Yeah, and I was on the draft legal circuit for 10 years.
How long ago did you do your last T100 race?
Well, it was in Vegas last year, but
so do you think it's changed based on this year's bike power that we're seeing? Like, do you think people are now realizing, like, pulling back on the swim this year compared to last year? Like, do you think last year's was more of an intensity in the swim?
Yeah, like you haven't. Aaron Royal hasn't been at a ton of these T100 races. Josh Amberger hasn't been himself, like smashing the front of the race. Vince, I would say prime Vincent Louis in WTS would put a minute on Yella Geens, a minute plus.
Wow.
And Yella came out and 4 or 5 seconds down. He's a front pack swimmer this last weekend at France. So I think people are focusing less on the swim, at least for like a Vincent Louis. Yella's still probably really focused on his swim, and you're seeing less of a gap in the race.
Yeah,
So the bike is definitely elevated. I think it's probably on average 5 to 10 watts higher.
I think it's a lot. I think it's a little more, right?
For each person.
Okay.
For each person in general. Now you add Rigo into the equation, and that's a whole nother ballgame. That guy's ripping.
Like people were saying they don't believe the data, all of that stuff. I'm like, how can he fake fudge these numbers? Like it's right there for you to see him holding like almost 400 watts for 2 hours. And for those of you listening, can you explain like the level of cycling that basically has developed over the past, I guess, 18 months at even the front of 70.3 races? Like Lionel's addressed it in his shows, like you need to be training over 350 for threshold for most of these guys, like depending on your run and stuff like that. Like I know you're probably not racing at 350. There's still a whole ton of guys not racing at 350, but there's like a subset of guys.
Yeah, I think I had a good conversation with my coach. You look at guys who are going 350. Let's look at Rigo. Rigo hasn't been on the podium in a while. Okay. He can push 400 all he wants, but is he really going to win the race? Yeah. He won the race in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Was it San Francisco?
Yeah.
So it played off there. But if you look at his consistency versus Mika and Yella, those guys aren't holding nearly as much as him. And so it's like, yeah, it's cool that the guys are getting, Justin Rowley's going to the front, smashing these bikes, getting exposure,
playing his strength.
But like, to me, it's about the result.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go bury myself and ride 350 and then come off the bike like Ben did. And he barely got third in his last Ironman. Like it's just, you gotta race to your strengths, obviously, but at the same time, you have to be consistent and you gotta focus on like, how do you run well?
It's interesting. I feel like, was it 2 years ago I think it was 2 years ago where the championship level of racing was basically that. I think it was the St. George year for Worlds here when Lionel was like, that was the hardest thing I've ever done. It was a straight up, TT for, 7.5, 8 hours. And I think ever since then, like that style of racing where it was literally just gas pedal the whole fucking time has now just like creeped into regional races, every race where people are just going for broke as soon as they get on the bike. And there's not this whole, like what you're saying is you should be putting a whole race together. I think there's people are trying to championship level race, just regular races now.
Yeah, and I'm fine with it. Yeah. it's gonna benefit me when I run 107, 108, come off the bike and I run anyone that has a 10-minute lead on me.
Yeah, well, that was the crazy thing. I was looking through results the other day from might have been Louisville, where you see I think it was somebody biked 7 minutes faster than someone and finished 2 places behind them, and I was like, what? Like,
yeah, people are going all in.
that's
on the
what
bike.
that's what I mean. Like, these guys are just, it's like this bike power porn thing going on.
Yeah, you know what? Power to them. Keep doing it. I love seeing it.
Yeah.
I have no issues with it. But if we look at what was the last race? So Jason West on paper is probably not the strongest cyclist. He still beat Ben. Ben went all. Was this Eagle Man?
Louisville.
Sorry, Louisville. Did Trevor win? Trevor won.
Came in second.
Or second.
Jason Trevor.
Won?
Yeah.
So yeah, Jason won.
Yeah.
So my apologies for not knowing those results.
I think Trevor biked 7 minutes faster than him, if I'm not mistaken.
So we have 7 minutes faster on the bike. But if I'm Trevor, like, I hold back just a little bit, dude. Trevor's such a strong runner. He could have held back like 3 minutes and probably won.
Man, it's so sad going to the Ironman app because the background is Lionel, and it's just like,
right now it is.
Well,
with American flag.
No, in the home screen, it's Lionel. So Jason did a 2:07. Yeah, dude, I think Trevor did a 2 flat. Let me go here. This is bad podcasting. Yeah, did 7 minutes faster on the bike.
I think if Trevor like focused more on his threshold, like sub threshold or threshold power, whatever that is, and focused on running like 320s. What did he run? Like, focus on running 320s.
6:02 pace. He ran a 1:18.
Dude, Trevor can run 5:30 pace, not 320s, but 5:30 pace.
Yeah,
and not lose that.
Yeah, in all fairness to him too, and Ben, I guess, because Ben did a 6:20 pace, so that's like a 1:20 something. It was like fucking 90% humidity. Yeah. Maybe they realized like, hey, we're all gonna die in the run, so let's.
But like, you don't have to die. Like, I think I just think you have to race, like, have a race plan. And I know Ben said this after the race. This is what caught my eye with it, was like, Ben goes, yeah, I just got on the bike and I went and smashed it. I didn't focus on power. I didn't focus on like any metrics, heart rate. I just went all in on the bike and created a gap. And like, I think that's smart to a certain extent. Like, if you want to put your head down for the first 30 minutes, create a gap, create a breakaway from the group, totally fine. And then settle into a pace, but just smashing yourself and then getting like just blowing up in that heat on the run sounds miserable.
Dude, this weekend's going to be interesting with those dynamics too, because I feel like that's going to be Ben and kind of Apo's philosophy, especially Big Matt's. Like, you got some uber bikers who are sick of not winning. And I think Ben is going to, especially with this hard swim, you're going to have a pretty big front pack with like Schaefer, Metz, Canute, and they're just going to be trying to get away on the bike. We're going to kind of see the same thing.
Yeah, I think Ben and Appleton are. Yeah, Metz isn't going to be there on the front of that bike.
You don't think so?
No. They're gonna smash T1.
Trevor's there too, but he's
Trevor's gonna be back.
Yeah.
Metz will get caught in the middle. And I think Appleton does a great job of like biking in his powerhouse and then like running to his potential. He seems to be really consistent this year, and year after year. I shouldn't just say this year. I've just been following Ironman,
and he hasn't been doing fulls much this year. So like his body is fresh.
Yeah.
All right, we're not going to do predictions because I feel like we're going to do this next week, and we can do fucking Ironman Nice predictions.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. It's too early. Yeah. Too soon.
It's too soon. Rudy's there. Rudy's getting a lot of content. Man, Rudy's his run form is so funny. He's
kind of like Jan.
Yeah, he's like stiff and loose at the same. Like, that's kind of how Jan looked. They look tight but
similar
loose.
Build.
Yeah,
I would love to. If I was a coach, I'd love to like help Rudy with his posture, not running like, which is kind of running technique, but he just needs to hold himself a little bit differently.
Yeah,
it would go a long way. He's just a little hunched over.
Is he? That's what you think?
And Rudy, if you listen to this, don't change your run form in the next 2 weeks, but let's have a chat later this year in the off season.
All right. So based on how long we talk about this next segment, we'll determine how many other segments we do. We're going to skip to the kook of the day, kook of the week. So this was thrown in my screen this morning, my inbox. And
who sent it to you? Let's give him some love.
Dale Ward our
Dale
boy.
Ward
No,
Jr.
no, Dale Ward.
Dale Ward Jr.
Dan Ward, our GB correspondent. He's like the YouTuber out there that Pro Tri News tried to cancel last year. That's how I found the guy. I was like, wait, what? But he's a really cool dude. He sent me this from Marathon Investigations, and Tommy Fury, did he truly compete the T100 triathlon? Data suggests he didn't finish the 80-kilometer bike leg, but still celebrates as a finisher.
Yeah, and then you came out with the article where T100 explained more in depth what happened.
Yeah,
about the bike course getting cut.
Yeah, T100. So the Ironman Marathon Investigations reached out to them. PTO. First of all, their website crashed. Marathon Investigations, because of so much traffic, which is just fucking hysterical. And dude, my wife knows about that website because my wife is big marathoner and stuff.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And there's a local woman here who's been under investigation for skipping ultras. So the website crashed. PTO basically says hey, he didn't finish the bike leg in time. We let him finish the run with a few other people because we want to promote inclusivity and building the sport. And yeah, dude, that's basic. But it's so bizarre. So in their wording, they were he hammered the swim, or he battled in the swim. Mm-hmm. They tried to church it up, he fought, and that's why it was hard for him. But this is the problem. Tommy says I did 10 days of training and I still finished a T100 triathlon or 100-kilometer triathlon.
Well, just also, I didn't know who Tommy Fury was until you sent me this.
You knew his brother though, right? Tyson?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't follow fighting. And I think a lot of triathletes who watch this don't know who that is.
Yeah,
he's a fighter.
I didn't know what he looked like. I knew the name, but I know his brother.
Dude, he's huge. This guy's a tank.
So his video of him crossing the finish line got sent to me by 10 people because he's all awkward while he's sprinting. And I watched it. I'm I'm not going to make fun of some guy's run form who's clearly not a triathlete. But then you see the finish line interview and he talks about how, he only had 10 days and how it was tough. And he doesn't fucking address the fact that he didn't do the full bike. So that's where the issue is.
Yeah. Okay.
And T100 has his family there in the finisher shoot. And I'm okay, so he got the full influencer treatment. He's giving a Mickey Mouse post-race interview. He's not acknowledging the fact that he didn't even do it. But this is the cherry on top that really just was fuck this guy. He posted his sprint where he's getting roasted because so many accounts posted it. Look at Tommy Fury's sprint. His run form's ridiculous. One of the comments I saw that was really funny was, "This is how I run in my dreams." He reposts it and says, "Don't comment on my run form if you can't finish a 100-kilometer triathlon."
Oh my god, yeah, his feet are the funniest thing. They're going different ways. One's externally rotated and the other one's internally rotated, and they're just flopping all over the place. But this guy, I do want to give some context. This guy's a professional boxer from Great Britain.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to look that up real quick.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and I really don't know much about boxing. I don't know about his personality. His brother's they're lunks. They're all about kicking ass and being controversial. You know what I mean? So it's
it's like Jake Paul in Great Britain, but yeah.
Yeah, but if Jake Paul did this and this happened to him, he'd be fucking roasted. Absolutely roasted. Dude, just own up to it. Triathlon's hard, right? And the contrast between T100 and Ironman is hysterical. It's never been more present than that statement by PTO of we want to be inclusive. We let them finish. Ironman's hey, you get the fuck off the course. You didn't hit the timing map, the time limit in time. You can't do the run. If you don't do the bike within time, you're not allowed to do the run. Yeah. And that's what I just think the sport is all about. It's not you're not owed a triathlon. It's a hard fucking sport. You have to train to do it. That's why if you go to any briefing at a 70.3 in Ironman, I forgot his name, the announcer guy, he always would say I hope this isn't your first race. Cause it's a high risk to not finish if you've never done a triathlon before. You probably should start with an Olympic. You probably should start with the sprint. Why are you spending $800 to go do a fucking 16-hour triathlon? There's just a high risk involved.
Yeah. Have some respect for the sport. 10 days before he started training. That's the ultimate panic fitness. It might have actually done more damage by him training for 10 days
yeah.
than just going cold turkey, dude.
It's just a wild situation. Like PTO says that they asked him to like rephrase his Instagram post where he like says he finished, and like it's just so sad. I'm not going to show the video because his daughter's in it, where like he's hugging his daughter's so happy, and like she's like, you know, probably 2-3 years old, and it's just like, you're a fraud, bro. You got like the Ibiza boss haircut. I don't know, but major L for Akoi. You know, between Sam Rainoff saying that this was going to be the biggest race in a weekend in triathlon, and Akoi like reposted it on their feed, and this video of him wearing an Akoi kit. Akoi's just taking major L's at the French Riviera.
No comment.
Are you sponsored by Akoi?
No, I'm not. I mean, they make good stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, they sponsor Rudy. Like, they have great athletes, but I mean, have some awareness. And
it wasn't the biggest weekend. Nice and Kona will blow the doors off this weekend.
The biggest weekend. It wasn't even the biggest weekend this summer. Like,
no, not at all. Not at all.
It
was a big weekend though. But dude, what's crazy is World Triathlon happened. I didn't see one post. Yeah. There was nothing. World Triathlon, dude, you're blowing it. Okay. I go on the feed when I wake up. I'm hoping I'm going to see how Morgan and Hayden do. That was the big storyline of the weekend, is the double. And I wake up. I had to text our group chat, say, how did everyone do? Also, because if you go to the World Triathlon website, it's so hard to find the results on that new website. Like, you should just go to like the tab and find the results. Now you got to dig through to find the results. So I got the message back. Morgan finished, I think he was like 16th. Hayden was 11th. So that's rough. Yeah, it wasn't the biggest weekend for sure.
No,
there was sorry, I lost my train of thought. But going back, there was no social media on that race, and they didn't do a good job, dude. It was still the feed from T100 the previous day that was in my feed getting posted.
That's really bizarre. And like I just don't get why it's so easy to do content. And I guess like maybe the social media person's overwhelmed. Hire somebody else. Like hire more people. Like you can't have enough content these days.
They don't but they don't hire anyone. It's just like Tommy used to go to these races and do an amazing job. And like, that was how I found out about races that I didn't go to. Was like Tommy reposting who was on the podium. Tommy's not. I don't think Tommy's at the races.
It's really bizarre. These race organizations, they don't do what everybody else is doing. So ESPN hired this influencer chick, like nothing to do with sports, millions of followers. Mm-hmm. They're paying not for like her style of content, they're paying for her reach and exposure to other areas of the world. You get what I'm saying? Like, her millions of followers, nobody, like I would say 60% of those people aren't watching ESPN. So they're paying to get exposed to a whole new host of potential customers who, you know, would watch sports or watch, you know, NCAA football. So this chick whose account is lifestyle goes and does field reporting in college and NFL, which very smart angle, because outside of what you're already producing, you're now getting into different areas. And I don't think that these race organizations are understanding new media. Like, they did for a little, and then I feel like they're so self-conscious, or they just don't see the big picture, where they just stopped. Like, they stopped working with Jack Kelly in a sense. Like, yeah, they did the live stream last week, the alternative stream with Jack. But I just think there's so many other ways. You need to welcome in these street content creators like On Your Left, and other people that are pushing the envelope in terms of like just culture. Mm-hmm. Like, I just think that's what's kind of missing from this, is they're not welcoming this at all. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's like,
no, that's a good point. I hate that that's what it comes down to. That just like this regular lifestyle let's just hire the most average person who has this huge following to come out and talk about the NFL or triathlon. And it's going to just bring in tons of new followers. Where like, 15 years ago, that was the thing. I'm old school, where I'm like, dude, let's just let performance and sport speak for itself, and the personalities. It's like, dude, you're right, though. That's where it needs to go. We need to hire just like these average influencer people to come in and repost and talk about, you know, they don't know anything about it.
Well, I don't even think you're wrong in that sense. Like, I think it could be a mix, and this is a perfect example of it, of this Ironman Gordon Ramsay / Jan doc. You know, I'll be the first to say it kind of sucks to see Jan become a product peddler in his retirement. I'm sure Jan has like tons of investments in other companies like, you know, Magic 5, Canyon, you know, I bet you he has some kind of stock in Pillar. It's just, I feel like it's a little bit insulting to the people who've been in the sport for decades when there's another Gordon Ramsay doc coming out of this. And like, they talk about how this is, Jan is like promoting this as, you know, I'm here to cover the stories that are a little bit deeper in the sport. And, you know, this is such a typical like angle from Ironman. And I think it's just lazy content producing. And I'm not saying reinvent the wheel, but go to other places where people have their own unique approach to creating content and get more creative. Reach out to other organizations, meaning like NFL, ESPN, NCAA, like, hey, how do you guys cover the sport in a unique way to draw people in? Because I feel like the influencer, we're going to go get the celebrity chef. We're going to go get the guy who, you know, has a personal struggle, like all of that. I feel like it's very lazy, creative content creation. And I'm just sick of it, man. Like,
yeah. So you're talking about like, it's all about age groupers. That's what we have to remind ourselves.
Yep.
I see what you're talking about, because this is like definitely overplayed at this point. It's
yeah,
all about the age grouper, which I agree. Like, that's where the sport lies, is participation. As a pro, I do realize that. But I will say that like we need ESPN to come in, or like or not ESPN to come in, but we need to create like a legacy and history and like do docs on people from 15, 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, like
I don't know who raced 20 years ago. I couldn't name like 5 people. I know like Macca and like these big names, but like, let's have some depth to it. Let's go interview those people right now. Let's talk about the glory days.
Dude, that's right. There's a bucket of content. You take that, and that it's its own category, that's its own subject. Get a team of 2 or 3 people to work on that. And then over here, let's get pros that no one's talking about, that people will be talking about. And what I mean by that are like somebody commented, you know, why are you talking bad about Connor Weaver on your episode? And I was like, hey, dude, we've been talking about Connor Weaver for months. Nobody is talking about Connor Weaver. We've actually have said nothing bad about Connor Weaver. I was joking, and I said I didn't like his celebratory move with the W because I had no other angle to dig the guy.
Did he win? Did he win something?
No, he came in 5th at Louisville. Okay. But this is a guy no one knows about, but he's running the fastest splits in the field. Not every race, but you know, 75% of the races he's at. No one's talking about that. Get a crew around that guy just for one race. Let's highlight these guys that no one's talking about. Yeah, they're not the Casper Storms of the world. Like they're not whatever, but that is a niche motivational story for an age grouper who's winning their age group. Like, oh shit, maybe I could be the next Connor Weaver.
Yeah, there's not way better stories, but there's some very good stories out there besides Lionel Sanders.
Yeah,
there's people who can talk on camera, who have had a hard upbringing. There's a number of them, and let's showcase that. Let's not showcase. I don't think you should showcase some Trustafarian kid who's finishing 16th, who's you know, flying out there with his dad in first class. But
you go to the T100 account, and it's like, dude, that Tom Fury stuff was like a big thing for them. And I'm like, why are you doing, like, the guy's a fucking millionaire. Like, who gives a shit that Tom Fury, like, how many people are going to say Tom Fury did a triathlon, I'm going to go do a triathlon now? Like, I really don't think it's that many people. Like, I don't know. I could be wrong. I just don't think that's where like the engaging stories are.
There's not all these, like, there's not millions of kids in boxing going, oh yeah, I'm going to go do a triathlon now.
You know, it would be really funny if they took the top 5 at Kona in every age group and just looked at them. What is their life? I bet you
that would be good.
I get you get a fucking school teacher in there.
Dude, that would be sick.
I bet you got like 1 or 2 people who have like a pretty, like, how hard would that be? It wouldn't be hard.
Yeah.
Just
a single mom with 2 kids, and she's out there doing Ironman World Champs in Kona this year.
100%.
Like, I want to know how hard it is for that lady.
Yeah.
That would be emotional.
My point of this argument is not to just shit on Ironman and like the content creators and the social team, because like I get they're probably overwhelmed and like there's high expectations, and it's very easy to sit on this side of the microphone and just judge it. There are so many people myself who are willing to sacrifice time to just consult and give ideas on how to better all of this, because I've been in the sport for almost 15 years and I'm just sick of seeing it just recycled and recycled. It's lazy. And there's so much more unique, especially as a sports fan. Like I watch so many different sports and I'm like, wow, triathlon should do this. Triathlon should do quad box. Perfect example. What the fuck was Red Zone? What they're doing is, dude, Red Zone has like,
what's that?
NFL Red Zone on YouTube, or NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube. So you can watch all the games at once if you wanted to. And they have different viewing experiences. Like if you want to watch the fantasy view, you go there, where basically they cut to games where players have big fantasy followings. So you could watch like certain players, or you can click to certain games, or you can set it up where you want to watch these 4 games. Like, just like, I mean, obviously triathlon's not set up for that, but like just even the quad box or the alternate stream with T100, like get a camera on Jack and whoever he's with, fly them out there. If Jack's already in Europe, there's already triathletes in Europe, get them in a room on a couch.
Yeah. Mic them up.
Yeah. And just
mic the athletes up, dude. Put a mic in their helmet.
Yeah. Like in their bike helmet.
No, not that they're saying a ton on the bike. So that wouldn't be great.
I'm going off right now, but I just think there's just so much low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. 47 minutes in. Do you want to do another
what?
Social post? Yeah, we could do one more.
Yeah, let's do one more.
All right. Do you want to do the Leadville guy or the Pack and Peanuts guy?
Leadville, because I don't know anything about this guy.
Okay, so I go to his page. This
is the Leadville guy?
Yeah.
Looks exactly like the Peanuts guy. They look very similar.
It really does. So he goes through the cost of doing Leadville. Now, granted, he reveals that this is over the course of 2 years. I don't know why it takes you 2 years to do a race, but I guess he's compiling all of, training camps to Leadville, all the gear for 2 years to train for Leadville, which I don't think it's valid. Like, you shouldn't be doing that, because then that just means it's like a bucket list race. Because like he's got the feet up there for 2100, but that's 2 years of nutrition, but for one race.
Crew gifts, 2000. You don't need to give your crew gifts.
You really don't need.
You don't need to go to a PT unless you're really banged up. You don't need to go.
It's $30,000.
This does not promote the sport of cycling in Leadville. This does not help.
You're right. You're kind of right.
Like, why don't you make a video on how cheap you can do Leadville?
Yeah, that's actually
that gets me stoked.
Yeah, that would actually get more people into the race. You're right, dude. When I saw this, I'm like,
$30,000 to do Leadville.
Dude, you go to the comments and people are like,
that's like a teacher's salary in some states, dude, like Arizona.
That's what I mean. Like, this is such a tone deaf post. So I commented, I was like, crazy budgeting, and he goes, how did I do? And I was like, oh no, he thinks that was a compliment. Like, oh, congrats on budgeting. But yeah, I mean, like, dude, $10,000 in lodging, and the comment is, why did you have to spend 10 grand in lodging? He's like, well, we went to a training camp there last year. Like, it's for my cruise lodging.
You don't have to do that, dude. Just sleep in your truck like Sam Long did when he first started.
Yeah.
At the race. Yeah.
It's
free.
This is what makes me realize, like, this is just this is the poisoning of influencing in endurance sports, because you could go out and do any ultra race. You do Leadville because you saw, what's his name? Rich Froning do it last year, or like Nick Bear do it. And you put Leadville on like this pedestal of like, dude, there's so many other ultras that could literally cost you the reg fee, like that. And that's essentially it. So I feel like to do this, you're kind of flexing like, oh, I did Leadville. I got my Leadville belt buckle.
$30K, dude. I want to know. Okay. So the camp was 9,000.
That's over 2 trips.
How long were the trips? And where are you staying?
Yeah. That's
$10,000, dude. Like, that's enough to like cover some people's rent for the whole year.
And first of all, you're going up there for a trip. It's going to take you like 3 or 4 days to even try to run a distance because of how high it is. Like, you're going to get roasted.
All right, so this is Leadville running. This isn't cycling.
I think it's running. I went to his page, and yeah, that's a good.
Is he a runner?
Yeah, he's an ultra runner.
Okay, so now, this is even cheaper, dude. You just need running shorts and shoes and registration fee.
Yeah,
like okay.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, I didn't even hear that angle or predict that angle of this isn't good for the sport. This is kind of bad for the sport.
It's bad for the sport, buddy. Now let's see someone post about how cheap they could do Leadville running.
Yeah, that would actually be really funny. I mean, I did that once, actually. I wrote a blog after South Beach, Miami 2017, to be exact. I wrote a blog about how cheap my race kit was. I bought $50 Asics, which I wouldn't recommend because I had so many blisters. No socks. I had a $20 Speedo from Speedo, like the cheapest one you could buy, a free shirt that I made a belly shirt. And then I bought gas station sunglasses when I was in Miami. And that was my entire race kit. It was less than like 25 bucks. I mean, less than 75 bucks. And I wrote a blog about that. And yeah.
That's awesome. Before we wrap it up, do you want to talk about the Clydesdale Olympics that are going to happen in St. George this week or next week?
No.
Dude, we got to hype that
I'm going.
Up. It is in your backyard.
I'm going. Where is it? I don't know.
Clydesdale, the triathlon's going to happen right
this
here.
This is the first time I'm... No, it's not.
Yes, it happens in your backyard, dude.
Wait, what's it called?
The Clydesdale...
I'm going to get content.
The Clydesdale Olympics is happening in St. George. It happens every year. And so you got to be 55 years and older to participate. I guess apparently last year, a lady who was 102 set the world record. But obviously there's not a lot of 100-year-olds swimming that are setting world records. Connor lives next to this like artificial pond.
Wait.
And the triathlon's happening in your pond.
No.
Or the lake or whatever.
Are you talking about the Huntsville games?
Yeah, the Huntsville games.
Is that
I call
the
it Clydesdale.
Like, what the fuck?
I got that so wrong.
Yes. Dude, I was like, what? First of all, I was like, how fucked up is that? Like, they don't even get it in the same weekend as like USAT Nats. Like, the Clydesdale. Oh, I gotta turn this fan on. It's fucking hot in here.
Oh my gosh, I got that so wrong.
Oh man, the Clydesdale. I legit was like, that is so messed up. That's why I was laughing so hard. Like, they gave them their own weekend. They even like piggyback off, because you know how like USAT always turns one weekend into 10 different national championships. Yes, so I do know, but I didn't know it's happening this weekend. I know that
it's happening. It's either this weekend or next weekend.
That's awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna go down and get content then, regardless.
That's awesome.
You know who does that every year? I want to say somebody told me. Robbie Decker's dad comes and does it. Yeah.
Really?
Somebody told me that. I can't. So, anyways, for those of you listening, the Huntsville Senior Games is 55 and up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they it's basically the Olympics. They do 50 events throughout the year. I mean, throughout the weekend, and there's a TT sprint triathlon. There's
they got pickleball, tennis, golf. They got it all. They got swimming.
I actually have a shirt.
Oh, that's cool.
I got it at the thrift store. I was like, what is this? It's a ridiculous looking shirt.
So let's talk about the triathlon though. The triathlon, where does it takes place? In your neighborhood. Yeah, right?
So the swim is in the lagoon. You do a couple laps there, and then the bike, you head out to 17. Mm-hmm. You go down to the first exit to the high school down there, that
high school.
Yeah, it doesn't look. It's like a tech school. I don't know. The first exit that way, okay. And then you run up from the last time they had it here. You would run up that main road right here. And then you would turn around basically at the Arizona border. They might have changed that though, because that's a lot of traffic. And we have a 5K that now goes this way through the neighborhood. So, but yeah, it's basically the 5K's in here. But that's what I mean. Like, there's already a course set up for our race. I really got to.
Should we just should I abandon it? 30-year-old guy just racing a bunch of old people.
Dude, it's funny. So the first time I moved here, I'm headed out for a long ride, and I see people running with bibs, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And someone's like, "It's a triathlon." I'm like, "Damn! Like, how come I didn't know?" They're like, "Nah, it's like for seniors, 55 up." But dude, so it's funny. You get some kitted out guys, guys that take it serious, who helmet, calf sleeves.
Let's go.
The whole nine. It's like Andy Potts,
freaking Russell, dude. Yes. I was texting him this morning. He's not that old.
I don't know. Speaking of Andy Potts, dude, Andy Potts.
Andy Potts is not that old.
No, I know. But I'm saying Andy Potts' fans are. Andy Potts DM me and shit. I feel bad. I left him on red. Potts. He wants us to come out and do a podcast at one of his training camps.
Where at? Where's the training camp at?
I don't know. I got to talk to him, but he said, "Hey guys, wanted to reach out. Your content is great, super funny too. I also wanted to see if you had any interest in coming to one of my team training camps to do some live shows. And the camp's doing a feature on them or your channels, pre, during, post, whatever."
Hopefully
some
it's
more
not
stuff.
at somewhere international.
I love Andy. I talked to him a bunch
he's
of
a great
times.
guy.
I've interviewed him on a podcast before. He's just like, dude, Olympic swimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. People forget.
Olympic triathlete.
Pennsylvania. People forget. Yeah.
Fun fact, I didn't know that.
I mean, there's not many pro triathletes from the Northeast, and for that kind of legend, he's a funny guy. He like grew up in a house full of boys. He said he was like, we were just like kicking the shit out of each other. Like he's a pretty down to earth dude.
Cool.
Huntsville Senior Games. All right, we went an hour. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was long.
You got to go somewhere?
Yeah, I do.
I got to go swim. All right.